Sarah, a talented 38-year-old graphic designer living in a quaint home in Boise, Idaho, seemingly had a fairy tale life. 2 adorable children, a devoted husband, and a job she loved. Yet, behind the facade of happiness, a silent, relentless monster began to tighten its grip: debt. Social media, with its curated displays of perfect lives and possessions, often contributes to a sense of inadequacy, driving individuals to spend beyond their means to keep up. Online shopping became a momentary refuge, a quick hit of dopamine that provided a fleeting escape from reality. However, these seemingly small purchases, when accumulated, only dug a deeper hole. The ease of buy now, pay later options, while convenient, often masks the true cost of items and encourages spending that doesn't align with one's financial capacity. The lack of financial literacy was the missing link, the piece missing from the puzzle to understand that small, wrong financial decisions add up, creating a cascade of problems that seem insurmountable. Many people simply aren't taught the fundamentals of budgeting, saving, or managing debt, leaving them ill-equipped to navigate the complexities of modern finance. They fall prey to predatory lending practices or make uninformed investment decisions, believing they are making progress when, in fact, they are digging themselves deeper. The story of Sarah and so many others is a critical warning. Identifying these behavioral patterns and understanding the real-world impact of seemingly minor financial missteps is the crucial first step to breaking the vicious cycle of indebtedness and avoiding imminent collapse. It's about recognizing the red flags before they become a full-blown financial inferno. The nightmare didn't start with a single misstep, but rather a series of accumulated financial blunders, like seeds planted in fertile ground for ruin. A credit card bill, once a tool for small conveniences, transformed into an unstoppable snowball, rolling downhill with exorbitant interest rates that defied logic. The overdraft, once a safe harbor in emergencies, became an extension of her bank account, an illusion of money that simply wasn't there. She remembered that night, her heart pounding, eyes fixed on the computer screen where the red numbers screamed the imminent threat of collapse. Sleep no longer came easily, replaced by sleepless nights, the weight of debt crushing her. The initial warning signs were subtle: a slight tremor when the monthly statement arrived, a quick calculation in her head to see if she could make the minimum payment without dipping into her meager savings. Then came the phone calls, first polite reminders, then increasingly insistent demands for payment. Each ring amplified her anxiety, making her feel trapped in a financial labyrinth with no exit. Sarah wasn't alone. Millions of Americans live on the brink of financial precipice, with alarming statistics painting a grim picture. In 2023, the number of Americans with credit card debt surpassed an astonishing $1 trillion, a figure that continues to climb. Meanwhile, the personal savings rate plummeted, leaving individuals with little to no buffer against unexpected financial shocks. The average American household carries a significant amount of debt, not just from credit cards but also from student loans, auto loans, and mortgage, all contributing to a precarious financial balance. For many, the absence of an emergency fund is their Achilles heel, a vulnerability that leaves them exposed to any strong wind. A flat tire, an unexpected illness, a broken washing machine. Each unforeseen event was a blow, pushing her further into the abyss. Without a safety net, even minor setbacks can trigger a cascade of financial problems, forcing individuals to rely on high-interest loans, further exacerbating their debt. Studies show that a significant portion of the population could uncover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. This stark reality highlights a widespread lack of preparedness. Impulsive consumption, fueled by the pressure to maintain the same standard of living as her neighbors, was another villain in Sarah's story. David, a retired postal worker from Phoenix, Arizona, always prided himself on his frugality. He'd meticulously balanced his checkbook, saved for his kids' college, and even paid off his mortgage ahead of schedule. Yet, there he sat, at 68, staring at bankruptcy forms, a stark testament to how even careful lives can unravel. Excessive reliance on credit for everyday expenses, rather than for investments or emergencies, creates a dangerous cycle. Many, like Mark, a young professional in Dallas, Texas, fall into the trap of using credit cards to bridge the gap between their income and their lifestyle aspirations. He wanted the latest gadgets, the trendy restaurants, the spontaneous weekend trips, all funded by plastic. What started as small, manageable balances quickly spiraled out of control as he made only minimum payments, watching helplessly as interest compounded. The average American household carries thousands of dollars in credit card debt, often at interest rates exceeding 20%, making it nearly impossible to pay down the principal if only minimums are met. This unsustainable consumption, fueled by easy access to credit and a societal pressure to keep up, is a direct route to insolvency. Furthermore, a pervasive lack of financial literacy means many simply don't understand the long-term implications of these choices. They lack basic budgeting skills, struggle to differentiate between needs and wants, and are often unaware of the true cost of debt. Experts consistently emphasize that while external factors like illness and job loss are significant, many financial collapses could be mitigated or avoided entirely with stronger financial education and more disciplined spending habits. Understanding these prevalent causes is the critical second step toward building a more resilient financial future. His downfall wasn't a reckless spree, but a series of unforeseen medical emergencies that decimated his savings, followed by a relentless torrent of medical bills. It was like trying to empty the ocean with a teacup, he'd often say, the bitterness palpable in his voice. Medical debt, surprisingly, remains one of the leading causes of personal bankruptcy in the United States, even for those with health insurance. A study published in the American Journal of Public Health revealed that over 66% of all bankruptcies were linked to medical issues, either due to overwhelming bills or lost income from illness. It's a cruel irony in a developed nation. Getting sick can literally bankrupt you. The average cost of a 3-day hospital stay in the U.S. is around $30,000, a figure that can easily wipe out a lifetime of savings for many. But medical debt isn't the only culprit pushing Americans to the brink. Job loss is another powerful catalyst for financial collapse. When Jessica, a single mother from Atlanta, Georgia, was unexpectedly laid off from her marketing job during a company downsizing, her world imploded. Her emergency fund, a modest 3 months' worth of expenses, evaporated within weeks, consumed by rent, groceries, and childcare. The job search stretched on for months, and without a steady income, the credit card bills piled up, each statement a fresh stab of panic. Statistics from the Department of Labor frequently highlight how a sudden loss of employment can trigger a chain reaction of missed payments, late fees, and eventually, the inability to meet basic living expenses. The lack of adequate unemployment benefits and the rising cost of living exacerbate this vulnerability, turning a temporary setback into a permanent financial crisis for many. Beyond these external shocks, certain behavioral patterns and a lack of financial foresight contribute significantly to the problem. Emily, a bright-eyed college graduate from Seattle, Washington, landed her dream job in tech. With a steady income finally flowing in, she felt invincible. For Michael, a young father in Denver, Colorado, the pressure to provide for his family often blurred this line. May, like Emily with her credit card, viewed debt as merely an extension of their purchasing power, not fully grasping the long-term cost. They focus on the minimum payment, unaware that this strategy can trap them in a cycle of perpetual debt where the majority of their payment goes towards interest, not the principal. Financial literacy teaches how high-interest debt can erode wealth and emphasizes strategies like the debt snowball or debt avalanche to efficiently pay down balances. Furthermore, understanding the nuances of different types of loans, from mortgage to student loans, and how interest accrues is fundamental. By gaining this knowledge, individuals can make informed decisions about borrowing, ensuring they only take on debt they can realistically manage and strategically pay off. Ultimately, proactive financial education isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about building a robust foundation for financial well-being. It empowers individuals to take control, make informed choices, and cultivate habits that lead to sustainable prosperity, rather than merely reacting to financial crises as they arise. A new gaming console for his son seemed like a need to keep him happy, and eating out after a long day at work felt like a justified want. While these desires are understandable, without a clear understanding of essential expenses versus discretionary spending, budgets quickly unravel. Financial education emphasizes the importance of a clear spending plan, often recommending methods like the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Had Emily and Michael been equipped with such simple frameworks, their financial trajectories might have been very different. This disciplined approach to spending empowers individuals to make conscious choices, ensuring that their money aligns with their priorities rather than being siphoned away by impulse or societal pressure. Her parents had always told her to save, but beyond a vague notion of being responsible, she hadn't received much practical financial guidance. So, when her first credit card offer arrived, promising rewards points and instant gratification, she signed up without a second thought. Soon, a new pair of designer shoes here, a fancy dinner there, and daily artisan coffees added up. Emily wasn't reckless. She simply didn't understand the insidious power of compounding interest or the importance of a budget. Her story mirrors a critical national deficiency, a pervasive lack of financial literacy. Studies consistently show that a significant portion of the American population struggles with basic financial concepts. A report by the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority found that only a third of Americans can answer 4 out of 5 basic financial literacy questions correctly. This educational gap leaves many vulnerable to common pitfalls, transforming seemingly minor spending habits into insurmountable debt. One of the most prevalent errors, often stemming from this lack of education, is the failure to distinguish between needs and wants. Another critical aspect often overlooked is the importance of understanding debt and interest rates. Maria, a single mom from Orlando, Florida, found herself drowning in a sea of debt after unexpected car repairs and a significant reduction in her work hours. The mountain of bills felt insurmountable, and the constant stress was taking a toll on her health and her relationship with her kids. She identified her highest interest debts first, primarily her credit cards, which carried exorbitant rates of over 25%. Her journey involved difficult choices, persistent effort, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about her spending habits. By adhering to her budget, prioritizing her debts, and actively seeking ways to both cut costs and boost income, she slowly but surely began to chip away at her financial burden. Within a year, Maria had paid off one of her credit cards entirely, and the psychological relief was immense. Our experience underscores a powerful truth. True financial recovery isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about changing behavior, building resilience, and regaining control of your financial destiny. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and practical tools to navigate the complexities of personal finance and emerge stronger on the other side. This approach, often called the debt avalanche method, focuses on paying off the most expensive debts first to minimize the total interest paid over time. She contacted her credit card companies, a daunting task she initially dreaded, but was surprised to find some were willing to negotiate. She successfully lowered the interest rate on one card and set up a more manageable payment plan for another. While not always successful, The act of reaching out can sometimes lead to reduced interest rates or even partial debt forgiveness. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling reports that consumers who work with certified credit counselors often see better outcomes in debt negotiation. Simultaneously, Maria began exploring ways to cut expenses ruthlessly and increase her income. She canceled unused subscriptions, started cooking all her meals at home, and even took on a few freelance graphic design gigs in the evenings. These actions, though seemingly small individually, collectively freed up hundreds of dollars each month that she could direct towards her debt. One night, after tearfully explaining to her daughter why they couldn't afford a new pair of shoes, Maria knew something had to change. She decided to confront her financial reality head-on. Her first step, a crucial one for anyone facing overwhelming debt, was to create a detailed budget. This wasn't just about tracking what she spent, but understanding where every single dollar went. She listed all her income and meticulously categorized every expense, no matter how small, from rent and utilities to that daily coffee run. This initial, often painful, process revealed just how much money was slipping through her fingers on non-essentials. She discovered she was spending nearly $200 a month on takeout food, the habit she barely noticed amidst the chaos. Financial experts consistently emphasize that budgeting is the bedrock of recovery. It provides clarity and control. According to a recent survey by the National Endowment for Financial Education, only about 40% of Americans actually follow a budget, a statistic that sheds light on why so many struggle with debt. With her budget in hand, Maria moved to the next critical phase: debt prioritization and negotiation. The path to financial recovery is rarely swift or easy, but Maria's story illustrates that it is entirely possible with discipline and a strategic approach. After 2 years of battling debt, Robert, a marketing manager from Chicago, Illinois, had made significant progress thanks to rigorous budgeting and disciplined spending. Yet, he felt like he was still running on a treadmill. Every unexpected expense, every minor hiccup, threatened to derail his hard-won stability. By actively seeking opportunities to earn more and then strategically allocating those funds, he not only paid off his remaining high-interest debt much faster, but also began building significant wealth for his retirement and future goals. He learned that smart investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's about consistency, diversification, and leveraging the power of compounding over time. Whether it's through a side hustle, monetizing a hobby, or making strategic choices with savings, generating extra income, and then investing it intelligently are powerful levers that can transform a precarious financial situation into one of security and sustained growth. It is about moving beyond just getting by and actively creating a pathway to financial freedom and long-term prosperity. He realized that simply cutting back wasn't enough. He needed to accelerate his financial recovery and build a stronger buffer for the future. His breakthrough came when he started exploring strategies for generating extra income. Initially skeptical, he began by leveraging his skills. He loved photography as a hobby, so he started offering weekend shoots for portraits and small events. What began as a way to earn a few extra dollars quickly turned into a steady stream of income, supplementing his regular salary. Robert's experience highlights a crucial shift in mindset. Instead of solely focusing on reducing outflows, actively seeking ways to increase inflows can dramatically accelerate financial progress. The gig economy has made this more accessible than ever, with platforms connecting individuals to opportunities for freelance work, driving delivery services, or even selling handmade goods online. Statistics show a growing trend. According to a recent report by Statista, over 70 million Americans participated in the gig economy in 2023, demonstrating the vast potential for supplemental income. With his newfound extra income, Robert faced a new challenge: what to do with it. He knew merely spending it would defeat the purpose. This led him to the realm of smart investments. His initial focus wasn't on high-risk ventures, but on building a solid financial foundation. First, he prioritized establishing a robust emergency fund, aiming for at least 6 months' worth of living expenses. He parked this money in a high-yield savings account, ensuring it was accessible but also growing, albeit modestly, with interest. This fund became his true financial safety net, providing peace of mind against unforeseen events like medical emergencies or job loss, precisely the kind of shocks that had devastated David and Jessica in earlier chapters. Experts consistently advise building this cash reserve before venturing into more complex investments. Once his emergency fund was solid, Robert began exploring low-cost, diversified investment options. He started contributing to his employer's 401 plan, especially since they offered a matching contribution, essentially free money he couldn't afford to miss. He then branched out into a Roth IRA, investing in broad market index funds and ETFs, known for their low fees and diversification. Robert's journey underscores the dual power of increasing income and investing wisely. After years of disciplined saving, smart investing, and careful budgeting, Sarah, our designer from Boise, finally felt a profound sense of financial peace. The crushing weight of debt was gone, replaced by a feeling of control and optimism. She made it a point to read financial news, listen to podcasts, and occasionally consult with a fee-only financial advisor to stay informed about market trends and best practices. She realized that much of her past overspending was driven by a desire to keep up or to find fleeting happiness in material possessions. By shifting her focus to experiences, relationships, and genuine needs, she found greater satisfaction without the constant pressure to consume. This psychological aspect of financial wellness is often underestimated, but plays a crucial role in preventing relapse into debt. She taught her children about smart money habits, ensuring they wouldn't fall into the same traps she did. Building a sustainable financial future isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about establishing resilient habits, continuous learning, and a healthy relationship with money that supports a life of security and peace. It's about proactive planning, adapting to change, and maintaining vigilance to ensure that the hard-won financial stability endures for years to come. Her budget, once a tool for crisis management, evolved into a living document she reviewed monthly, adjusting categories as her life circumstances changed. This wasn't about deprivation, but about intentional spending aligned with her values. She learned to embrace the concept of paying yourself first, making savings and investments a priority over discretionary spending. This mental shift is crucial for long-term financial health, ensuring that future goals are always at the forefront. Furthermore, Sarah diversified her investments, understanding that a balanced portfolio across different asset classes helps mitigate risk and provides more stable long-term growth. She also made sure to have adequate insurance, health, auto, and life as a fundamental layer of protection against unexpected catastrophes, learning from David's unfortunate experience with medical debt. Yet, she knew that financial security wasn't a destination, but an ongoing journey. The key was to prevent old habits from creeping back and to build robust systems that would sustain her newfound stability. Her primary focus shifted to automating her savings and investments. Sarah set up automatic transfers from her checking account to her high-yield savings account and her retirement funds every payday. This set it and forget it approach removed the temptation to spend the money before it could be saved or invested. Experts widely endorse this strategy, noting that people are far more likely to save consistently when it's done automatically. According to a recent study by Vanguard, employees who participate in automated retirement plans save significantly more over their careers than those who rely on manual contributions. This proactive habit ensures that a portion of income is always directed towards future goals, regardless of immediate impulses or desires. Beyond automation, Sarah understood the importance of continuous financial education and regular reviews. Finally, Sarah focused on cultivating a mindset of gratitude and contentment.